Hey, Planeswalkers, Mithras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Today, I got a #1 deck for you for November. Additionally, something that's interesting is this is actually a historic deck. So this is a nice take on an old popular deck that is still heavily played within the meta, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it today because there are some unique things about it. Now, quickly, for those of you that are new and for those of you that are returning, Kaladesh Remastered will be dropped here soon in November, so I do want to do a series of decks on historic for you so that you can ease into the format, or if you're already playing, get a nice refresher here and see what the meta is all about. So very quickly here, as always, Planeswalkers, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, if you like the video, please like it. You can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this, and feel free to check out my Untapped profile so you can stay up to date on my journey. All right, here we go, Planeswalkers. So what deck do we have here that is #1? Well, my friends, we have a Mono Red Goblins deck. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Like I said, there are some unique things, and you might catch them pretty quickly. But before we go and walk through the deck, for those of you that are new or for those of you that have been around for a while, again, the naming convention here is Mono Red because it is purely just mountain lands and mountain style. And then additionally, we have goblins. So I will show this one here for a second, but that is the creature type here, and very, very excited to play this deck because it is one that I've ran quite often myself. Well, Planeswalkers, quickly here, the key goal of this deck is essentially, because it is an aggro deck, it is a tribal deck, it is all about flooding your opponents quickly and sealing wins in very, very fast, and there's a lot of ways to do it here with this goblin tribal deck. So before we get started, as always, the deck list is available for you down below. There are also links to the deck list if you prefer that as well that you can check out. We're going to talk about the main board, we'll talk about the sideboard for best of 3, and then we'll talk about how to sideboard, and then we're going to go play some competitive Magic here since the season just reset. And man, I can't believe it's like almost, well, a little over 24 hours here before we got a #1. But we will go play some competitive BO1 and BO3. All right, so what do we got going on here? Let's take a quick look, and then we'll come back and talk about this in depth because it is pretty important. So Planeswalkers, maybe you caught one of the new unique things here, but we'll come back to that in a second. And the sideboard is a little bit updated as well. So first off, we got Skirk Prospector. So this goblin here allows us to sacrifice a goblin and add 1 mana. So huge in terms of getting that gain in terms of mana advantage on our opponents, and very, very important. And you'll see a lot of the things play into this, and it's all about getting our friend Muxus on the board as fast as possible. Next, we got Conspicuous Snoop. So here we get to play with the top card of our library revealed. We may cast goblin cards from the top of our library, and then as long as the top card of our library is a goblin card, Conspicuous Snoop has all activated abilities of that card. Next, we have Wily Goblin here. So Wily enters the battlefield. We get to create a artifact token or artifact treasure token. And here we can sacrifice that artifact and add 1 mana of any color. So it plays very well here, and an additional mana ramp. We now have Shatterskull, the Hammer Pass in here from Zendikar's Rising. Many of you are probably familiar with this if you're playing Standard right now, but this card here is a modal land, so it can either enter the battlefield tapped as a land, or we can pay 3 for it untapped, or we can cast Shatterskull Smashing as the sorcery here, and it deals X damage up to 2 creatures that we choose, and if X is 6 or more, we get to double that damage, but otherwise you break it up for X. Next, we have Goblin Matron. So Goblin Matron here, when this creature enters the battlefield, we may search the library for a goblin card, reveal that card, put it into our hand, and then shuffle our library. So very, very important to go dig out answers that we need, things like Muxus, things like Skirk Prospector, all sorts of stuff. Next, we got Goblin Chieftain. So this creature here has haste, and then all other goblins get +1/+1 in haste. This is a very, very powerful card in this deck. Next, we have Goblin Warchief. So similar to Goblin Chieftain, This one actually allows us to cast goblins one less, and then additionally goblins have haste. So instead of getting +1/+1, we get a easier casting cost, which is very, very nice and helpful. Krenko Mamba. So here's how you really flood and really build the board fast. Krenko enters the battlefield, and then we can tap it for X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens, where X is the number of goblins we control. Now here is a trick. This one is Ironcrag Feet. So quickly here, a big shout out to Altherax or Altherax. Apologies if I screwed that up, but this is something that's very unique to the deck. So I wanted to save that shout out to you for your #1 spot here because I wanted to hit this card first. But Ironcrag Feet here, we get to add 7 mana, and we may cast only 1 more spell this turn. So the whole key around this card is if we have lots of interruption on our creatures. So that still gives us the ability to get Muxus on the board, which is going to be really important because this deck heavily relies on your creatures to get Muxus on. So having this in play is going to be very important and very powerful. Next, we have Phyrexian Tower here, so we can sack a creature, add 2 mana. Very important. We have our Castle Embereth as well. We have a cycle land, Forgotten Cave, and then also mountains. So when we look at the breakdown, we have 22 lands, but then additionally we add that 4, we're at 26. So very powerful, very aggressive, great for best of 3, and also going to be very fun in best of 1. Next, let's go ahead and talk about the sideboard because this is going to be really important here. So first we got Soul Guide Lantern. So this card here is going to allow us to hit things out of our opponent's graveyard, and then also we can exile our opponent's full graveyard, or we can tap for 1, sacrifice this, and also draw a card if we need. So where this is going to work is this is going to work really well against things that are running Escape. So anything that's running a Euro deck, potentially as well any of the Rakdos decks. So one of my favorite ones to play was the good old lovely Rakdos Arcanist. So that's a great one. Additionally, this can help you against things like Mono Black Gift as well, and a lot of other areas like against the sack decks like Jund Sack, those kinds of things too. Next, we have a Braid. So a Braid is very crucial in this deck. So one, it works really well against creature-based decks. So the mirror match, it helps. Additionally, destroy target artifacts. So you're going to want to run this against things like the sacrifice decks, the Jund Sack, Rakdos Sack. Additionally, if your opponents do run things like everyone's favorite Graph Diggers, you're going to want to play this as well because that's going to help you and open you up to being able to search your library, also playing off the top. Otherwise, that can be very problematic for us, and things to consider. Additionally, you could run this against the artifact stack, and then Mono Black Gift, this is a good one. So anything playing artifacts, you're probably going to want to run this. There's a great Mono Black artifact gift deck, or artifact deck as well, not Mono Black Gift, that I've run into that this one's got a lot of legs against too. Next, we got Gem Palm Incinerator. So this one is very powerful against creature-based decks, and also when you definitely need to get something off the board. So this you might want to run against auras because you're absolutely going to want to take out our favorite core there, Spirit Dancer. Additionally, you may want to play a Braid against that, and you may want to play Soul Guide Lantern against auras as well. And then obviously this Sultai mid-range, like I said, against the Euro decks. So let's come back to Gem Palm Incinerator. Additionally, any creature-based decks, this one's going to be really important. You may want to play it against things like Neostorm. You could play a Braid against that too, just so that they don't pop off their lovely combo. Additionally, something against Rakdos Arcanist could be a good one, or the Rogues decks as well. Next, my friends, we have Goblin Chain Whirler. So where are you going to play this? Well, one, I would play this against any sort of ramp deck, anything that's running tokens, and anything that's got a toughness of 1. So where this one has worked well for me in the past too is also against the Elves tribal decks. That can be very important play. Also against the mirror match, it's very, very helpful to get things like Skirk Prospector off, and also Wily Goblin and Goblin Matron. So lots of things that can get hit there, and then obviously any of Krenko's tokens. So that's a pretty big one for you too, and a great place to start. And you may want to play it against Rogue's decks. Next, we have Herald's Horn. So this is what I like about this deck as well. This card is unique, so let's spend a minute here. So again, artifact, as Herald's Horn enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. So in this case, we're going to choose goblins. Creatures of that chosen type cost 1 less, so kind of like a Goblin War Chief. But at the beginning of our upkeep, look at the top card of our library. If it's a creature card of that chosen type, we may reveal it and put it into our hand. So this is really going to help us against some of the grindy matches. We're going to get that extra card draw, I believe, so we'll hopefully get to try that out today. And really get in front of our opponents, which is going to be really, really big and really, really crucial. So if you are running into a mirror match here, a Braid's going to be nice against Herald's Horn as well. And you're going to want to play this against things like Mono Red Burn. You're probably going to want to play this against Gruul Aggro. You may want to play this against an Aura's deck. Anything that does run a lot of creatures, you may want to consider trying to do this one as well. But obviously anything that's burning you off the board with control damage, this is going to be your friend. So Azor's Control, Rogues could be one for you too. Next we got Goblin Trashmaster. So this card is awesome. Again, we get +1/+1, sacrifice a goblin, destroy target artifact. This is going to work well against things like Mono Black Gift, artifact stacks. Anyone that's running Grafdiggers to slow you down, you're going to want to play this as a one-off. Jund Sacrifice is going to be a good one for you too, and then anything like a Rakdos Sack would be a good one for you as well. So lots of places that we could play these and make a lot of improvements. So the thing here now, when we move into talking about the sideboarding, is I like to always go aggro, kind of mid-rangey, and late game. So we'll continue to follow that, but it can be a little bit more specific in terms of the meta and how we want to board. But the key really is Soul Guide Lantern in terms of anyone that's leveraging their graveyard. We talked about those decks already. The grindy decks, so more maybe the aggro type stuff or mirror match, or stuff that's taking your creatures off the board, which could be control. You're going to want to run that Herald's Horn, and then each of the other kind of situational things that we talked about, you'll know exactly where you want to put those in. So again, against aggro, when we start, and we're going to consider it more so creature-based, you're going to want to run a Braid. You're also going to want to run Gem Palm Incinerator. You may want to run Goblin Chainwhirler. Those are some good ones. And then where would I look to kind of change things up? Well, if you know that they're not necessarily removing your creatures, like removing Ironcrag Feet isn't going to, that's kind of where I would focus. Additionally, you guys know that I'm super aggressive with my lands. I would actually maybe trim some lands too, and maybe go 2 Shatterskull, or remove 2 Shatterskull. Yeah, maybe not. I would actually maybe go 2 mountains here. We're sitting at 22. I'd go maybe 3, even if I was really, really risky. So that's 5 cards, 4 to 5 cards there. The other one that I don't mind necessarily removing at times could be like a Conspicuous Snoop as well. Maybe 1 or 2 of those. I still like to keep the ramp because I think that's really important. And then obviously you got to keep the Muxus. So that gives you a good 4 to 6 cards there that you can remove pretty easily, maybe more, 8. And then mid-range, again, Sultai, things like that, Rakdos we may run into. You're going to want to consider, again, something like a Soul Guide Lantern, potentially creature-based stuff like a Braid. That's 8. So I would, again, kind of focus on that similar space that we talked about, maybe on the lands, again, because I'm risky, Conspicuous Snoop, Ironcrag Feet, as long as they're not removing stuff off the board. If they are, then I would probably keep this and look to optimize, maybe more so on a Wily Goblin. I still like Skirk Prospect because it's going to play well with Krenko Mob Boss, and these combos are very, very important for this deck, in my opinion. And then lastly, when we get into the controller, the late game type stuff, we have to be careful because we're going to run into a lot of board wipes, potentially, and a lot of control, either burning our guys off the board or also just getting sweepers when we attack in with the exile stuff that you may run into with white or Azorus. The way I like to play that is a little bit slower on our creatures, but specifically we're probably going to want to keep Ironcrag Feet. We're going to want to put in Herald's Horn for that more grindy type match potentially. And then I would, depending on what they have, so that could be 4 that we need to put in, I would start to look towards those lands to cut, and then maybe again one of those, and that would be a good spot for us. 2, you could always try to stay closer in terms of your curve. You could always drop a Krenko there. As much as I love that one, that might be a good one to work towards, because you want to move up your casting costs and be even more aggro and getting your stuff on the board against those control type decks. Whew. All right, Planeswalkers, that was a mouthful. We're going to go ahead here and play some competitive Magic. Again, congratulations to the #1 player here, Althariax, in their fast move to hitting Mythic here for November already. So very, very impressive and very excited and very happy for you. All right, Planeswalkers, with that said, again, deck list is available for you down below. If you got questions or comments, let me know. Always enjoy hearing from you. And then additionally, links down there as well. All right, so let's go ahead and play some competitive historic Magic. So we got to go to historic ranked. There we go. Historic #1 Mono Red Goblins. All right, Planeswalkers, we are off to our first match here. But before we get started, as always, I just like to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, if you like the video, please like it. You can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this. All right, so let's give this a shot. So we got a burn deck, most likely here. So Ironcrag is going to work well for us. If it is a burn deck. There you go. We will definitely block here. So here we go with Ironcrag. That is nasty, nasty, nasty in terms of a combo. Let's view the battlefield. We don't have... We need to go grab... view battlefield. We still have a Goblin Matron. So let's grab... So we can grab a Muxus again. We got 4. We're gonna want this guy. That is still a ton of damage. We get in. so next turn we can go Cranko. I think we have lethal, and I think we're okay. 5, 10, no blocks. Probably gonna lose by 1, just watch. So we will go like this. Go. We're gonna go grab Muxus. And we are good. Whoo! Iron Crag. Cranking it out. Awesome. That is a awesome addition to this deck. Glad to see it work right off the bat. Alright, on to our second match here of best of 1. Fast and Furious in Historic. Turn that down just a little bit. Gawara. Alright, we'll keep this. We got a 1, a 2, and a 3. Alright. So we got a rakdos deck here. A land. Snoop it. Ooh, it's John actually. I like it. So we could do War Chief. I'm gonna do this though. Let's go grab Muxus. And bank. Bank that they're not gonna hopefully have a Thoughtseize. If they have a Thoughtseize, we're gonna be in trouble. But they should have opened with that. If they don't have Thoughtseize in this, we're gonna be good. Yeah, they're gonna need. There's the Thoughtseize. Here we go. So this is going to be big for us. can do another 3. So there, so there. Like this. And we go 3. Go 1, 2, 3. We have lethal. So dirty. Oh man, gotta love the goblins. I forgot how much fun this deck is. Alright, on to our third and final match already, my friends, and we're gonna go play some best of 3. We had quite a killer of a start. Now the thing where you can get into problems is obviously is mana base still, even though this one's running quite a bit here. So let's go ahead and play our traditional one. Yes, there was my Luis Silvato Rakdos Arcanus deck that I did play in the qualifier, I believe. Alright, so let's go ahead. You guys can absolutely check that out, by the way. Play our historic ranked #1 deck. Ooh. Alright, Planeswalkers. As always, in our best of 3, I always like to say before we get started here, thank you again. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, if you like the video, please like it. You can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this. Alright, Rasputin it is. I will keep, because we get to turn 2 into a 3. 4. Uh-oh. We got a nice little control deck here. I'm actually going to cycle. We'll see how this goes. This could be tricky. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Bye-bye, Muxus. There you go. So this one, we are definitely playing this. I'm gonna wait. Oh, we're good anyway. Oh. Oh. Whew. So we got a control deck. So here's where I'm going to play Herald's Horn. We didn't see a ton of what they had though, is part of the problem. But I do want to play Herald's Horn. I'm going to drop 2 of those. You guys know I'm aggressive, and we'll go from there. Alright, we'll give that a shot. We didn't see a bunch of their deck. If they go Graph, we'll have to put a Braid in. I figured give him 1 shot here though, first. We'll keep this. We still have our cycle. There we go. Trade on that. Let's see if we can sucker him in. Here we go. So a couple things. We can see this in action then too if we want. We'll do this. We'll do that. Let's go grab Moxus. Alright, so we get Moxus next turn. Oh, we don't get Moxus next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we do get Moxus next turn. Didn't hit what we wanted though. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get away. Maybe it's a Bolas deck for sure. Oh. Oh. That hurt. So now we'll see how Herald's Horn works. Ooh, there's that double up, like I said. We'll go grab our Moxus again. Let's get some damage in. Oh, They got a board wiper. Oh, there it is. We'll just sack everything. They're still gonna go. I didn't forget. Uh-oh. Did I get DC'd? Or are they gonna hit something here? Oh, done. They're still there. You better hurry. Yeah, there's the bolus. Muxus. How many have we lost? 2? 1, 2. Still got 2. We're almost halfway through the deck. There we go. Take action. That's gonna hurt us. Grixis bolus. Control deck. Shoot. Thought maybe this would have been a fast one today. Gotta kill that guy. Yeah.
You ought to die. My knowledge is endless.
we get flooded. We are in trouble. Let's see what he takes. Good news is, if we do hit a Muxus, we're going to hit a lot of stuff. Zombie. There you go. I guess I deserve it for flooding my opponents playing Gabos. It's kind of funny. Yeah, they absolutely need that Cry of the Carnarium in there.
I always have an answer.
Plenty of time. What do we want to do differently? I might add that one. Do we want to take out some of their guys with a braid? I don't think so. Alright, I took one land out of there. Particularly because I didn't like getting flooded that match. At least for first, though. What? Alright, that's a little better. I can't believe that we're getting these kinds of lands. It's just not our day. Not our day. Oh my gosh. And the land draw is so low. That is pretty crazy. Absolutely crazy, if you ask me. Oh, shoot. So exile or Carnarium's gonna hurt.
Once again.
Drop a land.
My intellect is without limit. You have no weakness I cannot exploit.
Oh, shoot. Now we're behind. What's his down 8?
My schemes are never ending.
Alright, we're calling it a good game because that flooding is not our game today. Well, Planeswalkers, we broke even. Technically, overall, we won the best of ones, 2 in a row. Lost our best of 3, going 1 and 2 to this Grixis control deck. Unfortunately, not enough to pull through, but nonetheless, we did get to see all the new mechanics of the Goblins deck here that was ranked number 1, so super excited about that. Let's go ahead and take a look here again. Additionally, this deck list is available for you down below in the description, so you have access to it right away. Additionally, you have access to the links down there too, if you prefer that. Again, here's what we got going on. We talked about some of the key mechanics of the Goblins deck. We talked about how to sideboard. We talked about the new additions here with Ironcrag Feet and then Herald's Horn. We got to see all those work. So I was very excited about that. Super fun matchup. Unfortunately, just couldn't pull through that last game, but we got to see a lot of fun Goblin action nonetheless, my friends. Quickly, as always, again, thank you very much. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch, stay up to date on content like this, and stay in touch on my journey down below on my Untapped profile. So looking forward to the next content for you guys. I'm going to continue to produce some more historic decks here before, like I mentioned, Kaladesh Remastered drop. Looking forward to that. I think we're going to see a huge shift here, definitely in the meta, when it comes to historic stuff. So, all right, Planeswalkers, stay safe, take care. I'll see you again soon. Mithras out.